All right, I have just got to my hotel room in Munich, Germany. I just flew over today from San Jose, 10-hour flight. I did not sleep on the plane. I'm sure I'm going to be jet lagged at some point, but tonight I'm going to get some rest because tomorrow morning I'm waking up and making the 1.5-hour drive south to Austria, going to a place called Bichlbach that is just outside of Innsbruck. And I'm going to be spending a week riding in the Austrian Alps. And I'm also going to be riding with some people from the Bay Area where I'm from. And I believe there's also a few people coming from Europe. But anyhow, yeah, I've got the bike all assembled, packed up, ready to go. I'm going to head out on a short ride. I'm going to go visit the Canyon showroom because why not? I'm here in Germany and I got my Canyon gravel bike. Anyhow, yeah, I'm just going to go out on a short ride, explore around town, head into the city center, get something to eat, and then make my way back here to lay down nice and early to get ready for a fun-filled week of riding gravel in the super scenic Austrian Alps. Yeah, tough life. Okay, I'm making my way from Munich down to Austria. I'm going to Bichlbach. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I've got about 30 minutes to go before I cross over the border into Austria from Germany. But right now, I am trying to find a vignette, which is a ticket for the toll when you cross the border so that I do not get a huge fine when I return this rental. All right, update. Shortly after filming that little segment about not finding the vignette, I'm coming through a tiny little town and there's this food place. I see this sign that said vignette on it and I quickly pulled into the lot, went up to the window and said vignette, holding my breath, not sure what reaction I was gonna get. And the lady was like, yeah. And here it is, here's the ticket. So I got what I need to cross over into Austria and back into Germany without getting a huge fine attached to this rental car that I'm driving. Whew. Oh my goodness, I am relieved. And I'm about 30 minutes from the place that I'm staying at with the group. Hopefully it's smooth sailing from here on out. I just arrived at the chalet where we're going to be staying. The group was already kitted up and ready to go, so I had to quickly get myself together and get prepared to roll out on a shakeout ride, which turned out to be absolutely stunning. Sorry for all the still photos. I lost a chunk of video footage, so I'm going to fill in the gaps with some still images periodically. But here it is, right out of the gate, day one. We're doing a simple, well, I shouldn't say simple, it was steep as shit to get up to this like alpine lake that we climbed up to, but look at the views. I mean, absolutely incredible. This is what I'm seeing on day one in Austria, and I just really couldn't believe my eyes. The scenery looked like something you'd see on a postcard. So now we're just up here taking all the pics. Look at me with cycling models. I want to give a big shout out to Blue Oak Adventures for making this entire experience possible. They're the team behind this trip, putting together a fully supported cycling adventure in incredible destinations around the world. What I really loved about this experience is how well they blend amazing riding with culture, food, health and wellness, and all the things that make a trip like this feel bigger than just riding bikes. And the best part is the organizers are super accommodating to whatever kind of adventure you're feeling each day. So whether you want to go all in on the riding or slow things down and just soak up the experience, they got you. So it would be well worth your time if you're looking for a biking destination adventure. The crew's up early and dialed in for the first official big day of riding, so pretty quickly the trip settled into a routine. Alarms are going off around 5 a.m. We crush a solid breakfast, and then we usually get rolling out about 6:30 a.m. Okay, we're making our way through Bichlbach. We just left the chalet and absolutely love this town. It's stunning looking, considering that I'm coming from the Bay Area, California. This looks totally different than anything I've ever seen with my own eyes, so this is awesome. We're getting ready to make a short 5-mile descent into the town of Reneherse. We got to make a quick pit stop by a bike store so that a few of the riders can swap out their rental bikes. This descent is super deceiving because it's a false flat. The majority of all of our adventures were going down in this direction, so we always had to make the return trip coming back this way, and this is where I would just get beat to shreds on every return trip home. We've just made it into the town of Reneherse, and we're making a quick stop at a local bike shop so a few of the riders can swap out their rental bikes. This shop came in super clutch for the group. Not only did they help dial in the rental setups for the folks that rented bikes, but also a few of us, including myself, had mechanical issues. So we brought our bikes here. They were able to sort us out with no problem. They have a super friendly staff and they all spoke English, so communication wasn't an issue at all. That said, it definitely wouldn't hurt to learn a little bit of basic German before traveling out here, but it's not 100% mandatory. All right, let the games begin. We're officially starting the climb up this ski resort mountain. Way up at the top, there's a mountain hut where we're planning to stop for lunch before dropping down the backside and continuing the loop. The route that we're doing today is pretty much all gravel, and this is a very steady but steep climb to get up to the hut. It's one of those climbs that just keeps ramping up the higher you go. By the time we reach the summit, we'll hit gradients as steep as 22%, so it's definitely a grinder, at least for me. You can see Allison here on a mountain bike, and she's crushing it. Meanwhile, I'm back here on a gravel bike struggling. No surprise. All right, so this is day 2 in the Austrian Alps. I am on a 6-mile climb. That is a 10% average gradient. This is not a walk in the park, especially after yesterday. Our warm-up ride was mega steep, but worth it. It is so beautiful out here. Never thought in a million years that I'd be able to ride bikes in a place like this. But make no mistake, I am dying. This is brutal. Not yet? Okay. This is as far as I can go by bike. It's hike-a-bike time. Because now we're gonna hit a 20+% grade average. And no one's trying to climb up that thing after 6 miles grinding on a 10% average gradient. But we're near the top and it is absolutely stunning out here. I can't say that enough. Okay, thank you. Hiking a bike. I'm absolutely delirious right now. I'm singing songs, pushing the bike uphill. Brake rotor is over here squeaking like a fiddle. The rest of the crew is up on top of the hill. There is lots to look at around here. I am not mad. We finally made it to the Marienbergum hut after conquering one beast of a climb. So I was so relieved to get up here and have a chance to catch my breath that I completely forgot to film any B-roll of us hanging out. We spent about 45 minutes up here, refilling with some snacks and taking in the views, giving our legs a much well-earned break before hopping back on the bikes and continuing on to the adventure. So from here we've got a nice long descent, thank God. Tons of mountain bikers were on their way up on this side of the mountain for some reason. On the side that we climbed up, we basically didn't see anyone climbing up with us. Everyone was mostly going down, but over on this side, everyone seems to be coming up from the little town below that we're going to pass through. After an incredible descent down the other side of the mountain, we rolled into this historic alpine village of Nassarite. You have no idea how long I practiced saying that. But anyways, this village is nestled in the heart of the Tyrolean Alps, and it is mega picturesque. It's got a lot of rich cultural history. There are centuries old churches, cultural landmarks all over the place. From everything that I read before this trip, it's also a good launching point for anyone that's doing any form of outdoor adventures. So whether you're into mountain biking, road cycling, or hiking, you can come park in this village somewhere, I'm sure, and there are tons of things to do in the village and around. So after riding through it myself, I completely understood the appeal. The mountain scenery is breathtaking. The trails wind through sections of an ancient Roman road, which you'll see shortly. And then there's this stunning turquoise lake with a castle sitting right in the middle of it. I mean, all the lakes out here are turquoise, but this is one of those places that makes you want to come back and explore even more. Out of this entire route, this was easily my favorite section, riding along a 2,000-year-old Roman footpath that was built by Emperor Claudius around 46 AD. Damn, that is a long time ago. But this path crossed from the Alps in northern Italy over into present-day Germany. Look how scenic this looks. This is the Fernstein Castle. It is a unique feature of this route because you pass directly through the castle's gatehouse, which originally served as a medieval toll station. Really, really cool feature. I can't believe I'm cycling on a 2,000-year-old path. At this point in the ride, we are right here on the route, and thankfully the hardest part is behind us. All the major climbing is done, and now it's mostly a scenic ride back to Bichlbach, where we're staying. By the end of the day, we've covered 36 miles and climbed an impressive 5,000 feet of elevation, and I felt every bit of that. Can't believe we covered so much elevation in a relatively short amount of mileage. On the way back, we decided to stop, pull over, chill a little bit, crack some jokes, and then continue making our way back to the chalet. On our way back, we ended up merging with the second group. So this was another group that we started off with, and they went and did an entirely different route. And as luck would have it, we ended up seeing them in town, and we finished our rides together. One thing I'm going to call out is there's this false flat that goes on for probably almost 5 miles to get back to where we're staying, and we had to do this almost every day. After a long, tired ride, you have to tackle this thing, and this is where everyone decides to go full effort all the way back to the house. So, yeah, I died here every single day of the trip. Throughout the trip, the weather had a mind of its own. We spent nearly every day trying to time our rides between rain showers, and by day 3, I figured I'd tempt fate just a little less and leave the action camera back at the chalet. The mission was to make it up to the Disney castle before the sky completely opened up on us. As I mentioned earlier, I managed to lose a bunch of footage from this trip, so instead of a beautiful shot of the village with the mountains in the background, you get this cinematic masterpiece of my rental car. Not exactly the footage I had in mind, but here we are. We got rolling around 7 a.m., heading in a completely different direction than we'd been riding the previous few days. This route took us through a tiny village before winding past a stunning forested lake. There was zero wind out, so the water looked like a sheet of turquoise colored glass. Looking back, I am glad that the rain held off until later in the ride. If we had been riding through all of this in the pouring rain, we would have missed the chance to really take in just how beautiful this area is. This area really had me in my feelings. We've made it to the base of the Neuschwanstein Castle, better known as the Disney Castle, and right on cue, the rain starts to fall. Thankfully, it's just a light drizzle for now. So this area of the castle is pretty impressive. It's essentially a large visitor center with museums, some historic buildings, shops, and general information about the castle and the region. From here, we got a short but steep climb up a trail to reach the famous overlook at the Marienbrücke Bridge. I butchered that, I'm sure. It's a bit of a workout, but once you get up there, the view of the castle is absolutely unreal. Our timing couldn't have been any better. We made it onto the bridge, snapped a few photos, and the moment we walked off, the skies opened up. Top it off, an entire busload of tourists were making their way onto the bridge as we were leaving. Thanks to the rain, we had to call it quits and head home. On the way back, we stopped in the town of Fussen to grab some coffee and food while we waited for the weather to calm down. It actually turned into a nice little break from the adventure. After leaving town, the group split up. Some of them decided to ride all the way back home, but Amelie, Allison, and I had officially reached our limit with the rain, so instead of toughing it out, we made our way to the train station and took the bailout route back home. After getting soaked for most of the day, a warm train ride sounded a whole hell of a lot better than another hour in the rain. Heading back with the girls ended up being the right call, so instead of getting drenched while trying to go full gas all the way back home, I got to kick back on the train, dry off a bit, and enjoy the incredible countryside rolling by outside the window. This was not a bad way to end a fun but rain-soaked ride. All right, this is my end of trip recap of being in Austria, Bichlbach or Bichlbach. Not exactly sure how to pronounce this. You'd think I would have it together after being here for the last 3 days, but it has been nothing short of an amazing time. The people that I've been surrounded by are some incredible humans. Yesterday was my birthday, and today I felt like I just needed a moment to go off on my own and reflect on my life as a whole and all of these amazing opportunities that I've had in my life and take everything in. So the crew has gone off into a new route today. I was halfway tempted to join them because it looked incredible. Not a ton of steep climbing like what we've been doing the first couple days of being here, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but yeah, pretty intense. Today, I decided to come back to an area that we rode through yesterday. It was very rainy, but the sun is out today, but I decided to come back here because it is absolutely stunning. It's a lakeside spot where you've got these mountain views and you can look off into the distance to see the valleys, and there's still some snow up top in that far distant mountain back there. The water was pretty glassy up until about 15 minutes ago. There was a boat that came through here and created quite a disturbance in the water surface, so there's a little bit of a wake coming through. But I mean, this place is absolutely stunning. I knew yesterday when we were riding through here I was coming back no matter what to get some footage so that I can show you all what this area looks like. Around the perimeter of the lake is a trail, so there are a lot of walkers and hikers out and about. Very few bicyclists. I've seen a couple commuters, but there's no mountain bike or gravel bike activity at all, which is shocking. But that's probably because there's so much to ride around. Like, this is just one of probably hundreds of trails that are in the vicinity. But anyhow, yeah, I've got my drone with me, so I'm going to get that up in the air and nerd out a bit and see if I can capture some good aerial footage. But for the most part, this has been a great trip. I'm leaving a bit early. Everyone's leaving on Saturday, and unfortunately I've got to leave Wednesday because I've got some responsibilities back in the Bay Area to attend to. So bright and early, I got to get up and drive the 2 hours north, or hour and a half north, to Munich and get on a plane. I'm extremely fortunate and blessed to have the opportunity to experience these types of things and to be able to fly clear across the globe to ride a bike. There's my bike over there. And none of this stuff is taken for granted at all. So I'm going to stop bumping my gums and get to enjoying more of the scenery. All right, that's all she wrote. The trip is almost officially over. Packing up my bike right now. The rest of the crew, they're still out somewhere in the hills over yonder. They'll probably be finishing up their ride within the next couple hours or so. And then the hikers should be on their way back also in the next couple hours. But this has been a great day, a solid day of introspection and being grateful that I'm able to come clear across the world to ride bikes. And now I just need to get packed up and ready for an early flight back to the Bay Area. This is definitely the part of the trip that I hate, packing up and then hoping that everything goes smooth to get to the airport. Anyhow, bye. On the flight back to the Bay Area, this woman sitting next to me had this Bluey emotional support plush. Actually, I think this might be Chili from the cartoon Bluey. But anyhow, this was amazing. She ended up being a great seatmate for a long flight back home. We were cracking jokes and downing drinks. This was one hell of a trip.